Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, at the beginning of this year on this platform, I opined that the 2027 presidential elections in the Republic of Kenya is going to be determined in the year 2024. And therefore, any serious political player in the Republic of Kenya who is keen on having an impact in 2027 must study and monitor the events as they unfold in the year 2024, which is this year. Yesterday, the entire country was shocked when photos of William Ruto, Raila Odinga, and Museveni meeting in Uganda emerged. And the truth of the matter is that that meeting is going to shape the politics of this country completely. And there are losers and there are also winners as a result of that meeting. But there are also several political lessons that we as a country can learn from that particular meeting. In this video, I want us to look at the lessons that Kenyans can actually learn from yesterday's meeting between Raila Odinga and William Ruto in Uganda. But first of all, who would have imagined that Raila Odinga and William Ruto would be meeting in Uganda, for that matter? But of course, there's one man, Moses Kuria, who predicted what happened yesterday way before the election. I want you guys to listen to Moses Kuria here very, very closely, because that prediction has come to pass before we go into the lessons which we as a country should be able to learn from William Ruto and Raila Odinga's handshake. Listening to Moses Kuria.
I was the first one to predict about the handshake before the handshake.
Wow.
If you go to my Facebook on the 22nd of February 2018, I wrote that Raila Odinga will decamp and work with Jubilee before Mudavadi, Kalonzo or Wetangula. And I said, mark this post. Yeah. It didn't take 2 weeks.
So unajua mtu yako?
Raila ni mtu yangu bwana. Mimi najua yeye kabisa. Kalala prediction. It is my prediction, so you cannot take me to
umekuwa nabii, okay.
Huwezi kunipeleka
nabii wa
kotini.
siasa. Another prediction.
Raila Odinga and William Ruto will work together.
Na
kuna watu wataachwa kwa mata.
Why?
And you know, Baba hii kitu mnaita, yes, he's in opposition throughout his life, but look at, he's always where in the warm corner of the opposition. Sio ile iko na baridi. Sio ile iko na baridi. Government are all where it's happening.
So you're predicting that Raila Odinga will work with William Ruto?
Yes. He has his hand at the pulse of the nation. So he knows that William Ruto has got an unassailable lead. So the logical thing for Baba will say, create for me some space. Nimaliza hii maisha yangu hapa uzee wangu. Kusaidia tu kama rafiki yako, tulifanya kazi pamoja. I give you some wisdom and I give you the ideas I had, you know. And
now that's Moses Kuria making his prediction. But what political lessons can we learn as a country from the handshake between Raila Odinga and William Ruto? Remember, after the 2007 presidential election, which was bitterly contested, I think close to over 1,000 people lost their lives. We witnessed a handshake between Raila and Kibaki. The truth of the matter is that in that election, Raila Odinga clearly won, but Kibaki refused to hand over power. But Raila and Kibaki managed to work. Then in 2013, of course, things just moved well smoothly. 2017, again, we witnessed after that election, handshake between Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. And the truth is, Uhuru Kenyatta had anticipated that William Ruto was going to give him problem. And of course, it's also very difficult to rule the country minus Raila Odinga. Take, for example, the case of Jubilee. During that time, only 2 communities voted for Jubilee. That is the Kikuyu and the Kalenjin. So it was going to be very difficult for Uhuru Kenyatta really to rule the country. When William Ruto took over, most Kenyans believe that he was actually going to send Raila Odinga to Bondo on a wheelbarrow. But we are now seeing Raila Odinga going to Addis Ababa. But what lessons can we learn? The first lesson which for me we should learn is that politics is a game of interest. And just like I keep on telling you, that in politics there are only two constants, which is the interest and betrayal. But the main overriding factor in politics is interest. So you as a Kenyan, just know that each and every politician you are supporting, there's a reason why he's taking a particular position. It's because of their own personal interest. Interest comes first. Don't be ever cheated that a politician has your interest. For example, those who voted for Ruto, hustlers, they believed that William Ruto was going to make life very easy, very sweet for hustlers. William Ruto only had an interest in your vote. And once he managed to get that vote, what happened? He changed. Now the same Raila Odinga, whom you were convinced was bad for you to vote for him, is now dining with him in Uganda. They are meeting secretly in Mombasa. And the truth is, if Raila calls Ruto today, Ruto will pick his phone call. If Ruto calls Raila, he will pick. What about you? So it's about interest. So if you are also supporting any politician, please ensure your interest overrides the interest of the politician. In fact, if Kenyans were to value their own interest, I don't think they would be voting this politician who just have their personal interest. So that's number two. Second lesson is that do not fight a fellow Kenyan over politics. Now, if there are people who are fighting, who disagreed bitterly and could not see eye to eye because of Raila or Ruto, and then the next day you see these guys meeting in Kampala, and from the body language, it's clear they are comfortable. So the truth is, do not fight a fellow Kenyan over politician, because they don't care. For them, they're, in fact, someone was telling me that as much as Ruto and Uhuru are not seeing eye to eye, when it comes to their interest, they'll come together. And that's why Mandago has this to tell you.
Hii siasa ya 2017 ilinifunza mambo mingi. Usiweke maneno ya siasa kwa roho tafadhali. Weka kwa lungs. Ndio ukipumua tu after election. Akwenda. Sawa sawa. Kwa sababu kama kuna mtu anafaa kuhangaika na kukasirika ni mimi. Imagine tumepiga kura ya rais tukashinda free. Kotini kasema turudie. Nikasunguka kaunti 19 kuombea Uhuru kura. Na ule mtu ametuangaisha hapa ni Raila. Handshake ikafika nani? Raila sasa ndio wako bedroom state house. Sasa wewe bado unajiweka pressure ya siasa ya nini? Hii siasa wachana nayo. Hata mimi nimeinua mkono. Upepo ikielekea huko chini, wacha iende. Ikirudi kuelekea huko juu, wacha iende. Ikienda north, wacha iende. Ikienda south, wacha ikirudi ikupate wewe ukiendelea na kazi yako. Ama namna gani? Tumekubaliana. Sasa hii siasa usiweke kwa roho tena na isikupatie pressure. Fanya kazi yako na ulale vizuri. Mimi sasa hata mimi siku hizi hainiangaishi. Handshake, isikuwe handshake, referendum, isikuwe mimi siku hizi nalala. Kwa sababu najiuliza, suppose niende state house na nikutane na Raila kwa corridor. Niambia sasa wewe ulikuwa unatukana mimi. Nitaanza kutafuta corridor ya kuingia state house ndio apite. Sasa hii siasa jameni, hii ya matusi na chuki hii tuache. Ama namna gani? Na hii handshake ni mzuri. Why? It tells us everything is possible where there is will. Ama namna gani? Na kuna uwezo ya kusameana hata kama mlikuwa nafikiria mtaonana. Nani alikuwa anakubali ati Raila na Uhuru hata kusalamiana watasalamiana? Kuna mtu alikuwa na imagine? Hiyo ni mpango ya Mungu nani? Na Mungu alileta hiyo mpango ndio watu wengine kama Mandago waweze kulala bila stress.
The third lesson is that As a Kenyan, you must know your place in politics. Politics is a game. It has players and it has spectators. In fact, that photo of Museveni, Raila, and Ruto plus the cows is a good depiction of what politics is all about. The players are those three gentlemen. The spectators, you guys. So you need to know your place so that you don't just get into certain things which you don't know. I've been seeing some gentlemen here called Yoweri really abusing Raila Odinga. William Ruto is in Homa Bay today. Do you know what's happening in Homa Bay? Ruto is really praising Azimio. They had the handshake. Now, the next day, Ruto will not even trust Yoweri. Raila will not trust Yoweri. So he's going to lose. Why? Because politicians believe in people who have a stand. You can't support Raila Odinga until he goes into the ballot, then he loses, then you start abusing him and support Ruto. For example, Ruto cannot allow that. He will view you that, okay, even him, if you are to lose today, the next day you'll start abusing him. That's why politicians always value loyalty. So if you are loyal to a politician, for example, Silas Jaka Kemba was Raila Odinga's personal assistant all through. Raila lost, he's with Ruto. Do you think Ruto can give him something meaningful? I doubt. But if he's stuck with Raila Odinga, probably what would have happened is that he would be viewed as someone who is trustworthy, someone who is dependable, someone you can rely on. So that's politics. You need to know your place. The fourth lesson which we are learning from this is that do not bite more than you can chew. So for example, if you are a Raila Odinga supporter or a member of parliament in Azimio or ODM for that matter, then you are at the forefront of, you see, politicians, there's a way they accept that, okay, leo umenigonga, yeah, but you don't go personal. If you go personal, then it's bad for you. So just confine yourself to politics. If Ruto is bad, just highlight his bad side. Yeye is giving empty promises. William Ruto is just talking, Raila Odinga amefanya, but don't go into personal to an extent that, for example, you now go into their families and the rest. That is bad because these guys at the end of the day, they're friends. And lastly, all politicians the world over are the same. Take that lesson very seriously. I don't know what you think. That's my take. We know William Ruto is in Homa Bay. Probably will do a proper analysis. And I've also been thinking that maybe we need to do an analysis how Kalonzo Musyoka can actually use the goodwill or the handshake between Raila and Ruto to win the presidency in 2027. I don't know what you think. That's my take. I don't know what you think. That's my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.